Bags down, spikes on. Welcome to the track. Hi, my name is Colin Waitsman, and I'm going to be your host for this episode of Track World News presented by Track Barn. And man, do we have a lot of things going on with this episode of Track World News. If you're looking for NCAA coverage and previews, that's actually going to be coming out on Wednesday. So if you're listening to this on the day of the release, that'll be coming out tomorrow. Today, we're going to be talking about some professional things that are going down. So Mondo breaking another world record, Fred Kerley running one of the best times ever in the month of March, as well as Iwa Sobada. Is she going to be the next great thing in the sprints? We're going to talk about all of that and more. But first, make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, leave a review. All of that helps us know that you're enjoying the content that's coming along over here. And yeah, so let's jump right into it. So first, we're going to talk about what happened, I guess, a little bit before what Mondo just did. So for Chris Nielsen, pole vaulter out of the United States, in February 5th, he breaks the American record with a vault of 6.04 meters. So great jump. He gets it. We posted about it a little while ago. Fantastic jump. And then earlier on this week, he breaks his own record again by tying the world lead held by him and Mondo at the time with a jump of 6.05 meters. This was all the rage for a little while because now it's like, okay, is Chris Nielsen is really showing that he's in that range, he's in that realm, same thing as Mondo is right now. And then, well, Mondo decided to jump on the 7th, so just yesterday. And Mondo's proving once again that he's untouchable. He is on a platform that no one else is on. He just keeps raising the bar, and the only thing in his way is himself. I mean, he's PRing and setting world records at an astonishing rate. He actually even mentioned that he doesn't even really get flustered anymore when it comes to looking at these world records. It's just another bar for him.
Tried 619 50 times. I think that was the number. So it's been a long time coming. I've never had a height quite give me the trouble like that ever in my entire life, and I've been jumping for a very long time. So it's a very good feeling because it was really, really hard fought these past 2 years to try to get over that next barrier. And so, I'm really happy. I can't complain too much. I don't think this is the highest that I'm ever going to jump. I think that there's going to be a lot more to come, and this is a really good place to jump. World Championships in 2 weeks is going to be, an even better time to try to put something else higher up there.
And now that raises the question with Mondo just being so untouchable, like how high can he jump? Like what is going to be the end all be all here? I mean, he's reaching these heights at an age that is insane to think of. He is jumping at 22 years old. He could still be a college senior right now. He is jumping heights that people that were, in their quote unquote peak in the pole vault at 26, 27, couldn't even come close to doing. And he's doing these with ease at 22 years old, at 21, 20. So he's just on another level. And I have to give it to the fact that he's been doing this since he's 5, 6 years old. He's been pole vaulting for what would be the length of most senior vaulters right now. Like many vaulters probably started in middle school while he was starting in 5th when he was 5, 6 years old, just when he was running around as an elementary school kid. And so he just keeps extending his lead. He's in, right now, there are, I would say, he's in a level of athlete right now in track and field that it's probably only 2 athletes that can say they're in right now. And that is Ryan Crouser and Mondo Duplantis. These are 2 vaulters or 2 athletes that the only thing getting in their way of setting insane numbers are themselves. Like there's no one that can even come close to beating them unless they have an awful day. Like if Mondo just does a regular day, he jumps 6 meters. And that is something in and of itself that is extraordinarily impressive and only a very, very small amount of people do. That's just a bad day. That's an average day for him. And same thing with Ryan Crouser. Like he throws nearly world record shots every single competition. And so the only thing getting in his way of losing is himself. And so he's just on another platform. It's crazy to see, and me as a pole vaulter, pole vault enthusiast, it's awesome to see what's going on. And I'm kind of hoping, or I'm wondering, like, what's going to be the top end of this? Like, where will the world record be when Mondo retires? And it's hard to tell because when you're breaking world records, you break them by 1 centimeter because you get paid by each time you can break a world record. So by breaking it by multiple centimeters or a lot, it doesn't make any sense. And so the question is, how many times will he break his own world record? And it's going to go up by 1 centimeter. So it's at 619 and he's 22 years old. Let's assume that he could break it let's even say he could break it every other year, or let's say he can break it every year. We'll start there. So if he breaks it every year and he's 22 years old, and let's say he does that from now until he's 30 years old, let's just say that. So that would be 8 more years that 8 more times he would break the world record. And if it's at 619, that would be 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, or 27. So right now it would be at 627 would be kind of like one of the top ends for what this world record could be if he's breaking it every single year until he's 30 years old. And that's even a lot. So I'm thinking like if this world record could get to 625, like that's something that I foresee is possible. And he's at a pace where he could do that because then he's only PRing a few more times. And you know, when you're at these bars, you can't go wrong. Like you've got to be on your game. And so I'm gonna put it right there around 625. But it's insane. He's just vaulting so freaking high, and I'm loving seeing it. So next, let's go on over to the track, and that is with Fred Kerley. So the guy that he starts off as a 400-meter runner. Everyone knows him as a mid-distance sprinter. And then in 2021, he decides, you know what? We're cutting all of this. We're going to go to the 100 and the 200, focusing on that. Tons of people thought he was crazy, and he proves all of those haters wrong, getting a silver medal and running a time of 9:84 in the process at the Olympic Games. And so people are like, wow, this guy is legit. He is running crazy fast times in the 100. And then now he opens up his outdoor season for 2022 in Grenada, and he runs a time of 44.47. And he does this in March. And so for the outsider might be like, okay, why is it important that he's doing this in March? Well, this is the second fastest time ever in the month of March, in fact. So he's running really fast, really early. Because remember, most of these professionals, they're going to be competing into late August. And so to be doing very well in March is extraordinarily impressive. And it's his best since 2019. So since he was running those 43s and focusing only on the 400, this is his best mark, which is extremely impressive. I mean, he's only behind Harrison of the United States, who did a 44.26 back in March 16th of 1998. And to see, okay, so this is really good for the month of March, where would this put him on the world stage as a whole? So this would have been the ninth fastest time in 2021. So he still would be a top 10 guy starting in the month of March in 2022. And now another question that I'm asking, and I'm sure many other people are wondering, is what is he going to be doing this World Championship? And so he's proven that he has the distance of being able to be an elite caliber athlete from the 100 all the way up to the 400. And so now he's gone to the Olympics in the 100. He hasn't yet gone to the Olympics in the 400. Is he going to make that attempt, make the 100-400 double? I made a prediction earlier on in the year that I do think he's going to be making the 100-400 double. It's something that I'm sure he probably wants to do. He's mentioned that he has phase 42. He puts it everywhere. If you look at any of his tweets or anything, he's always mentioning phase 42. So the 400 is still important to him. Don't get it twisted just because he ran a really fast 100 that he's staying down there. I would not be surprised if we see him try and go up to do the World Championships this year and doing a 400 as well as the 100 meter. Because while he is still very, very elite in the 200 with a 1976, there are a lot of really good guys in the 200 this year. And next year, it's going to be Noah Lyles, Bednarik, you're going to have Arian Knighton, just to name a few. And I'm sure there are going to be many other names. Jalen Slade, who's going to be a pro. Like, there's a lot of guys that are going to be really, really competitive in that 200. Wouldn't be too surprised if he's like, you know what, we're going to try the 1 and the 4. That way he also has an opportunity to be on that 4x4 team as well. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. If I'm making a prediction, like I said, I'm going to stick to my guns and say he will be doing the 1 and the 400 meter double. But this is a guy that he just can do anything, really. I mean, it's so interesting to see. I would love to see him put up an 800 meter. Why not? He just keeps showing that he's one of the best athletes we have in track and field right now, and nothing can really stop him. So it's really exciting, especially if you're a viewer and a fan of track and field. Next, we're going to close this thing out with Iwa Sobota. Sorry if I butchered your last name there, but she is a Polish sprinter who just broke the national record for Poland with a time of 6.99. She's the only lady to run sub 7 this year with that time. And of course, it is a new personal best and puts her 9th all time. And so she's been having a very, very exciting indoor season this year. I mean, she beat Elaine Thompson-Herah, the Olympic champion and the fastest woman alive. She's running sub 7. She gets a national record, world-leading time, and she's about to be going into the World Championships in just a few weeks. So everything's just really clicking with her. And now my question is, how is this race going to translate for her outdoors? Because she's an elite 60-meter runner, and she's been an elite 60-meter runner for her entire career, pretty much. She ran a 7:07 when she was 17 years old. I mean, Iwa is only 24. Yeah, she was born in 97. She's only 24 years old, and so she's running these crazy fast times. I mean, it's right in your prime. Like, this is right when you're going to start running those really fast times. But yeah, she's proved that she can run a 7:07 before she was even 18 years old, and so she's got some crazy speed. But how does it translate in the 100? Well, it's soon that she's been a 60-meter specialist, because the numbers haven't been, she's still very fast, but it hasn't translated into those crazy fast times on the 100. So her personal best is 11:07. She did that in 2019, and then her best from last year was an 11:20. So she's definitely really good at the front end of her race, and so I'm sure her and her coach are working on, okay, how can we expand this throughout the 100? Because we're showing we can get out the blocks well. We've got really good power. We can finish a race, the shortest race that we have on the track. How can we extend that an extra 40 meters and be able to sustain that power and sustain that speed over the next 40 meters to close out a really good 100? Because if she can, oh man, she can be a problem, because you're running times that are challenging Elaine Thompson-Herah. You beat her. You beat the person that won the Olympics. Obviously, she's not peaking for this. She's just getting ready. She's training. But to be running these times is very impressive. And so I'm hoping that it does translate to being a good 100 meter in the future. But we're only going to be able to see later on, so only time will tell. That's going to do it for this episode of Track World News. A little bit shorter, but that is because, like I said, tomorrow you're going to be getting an extended episode of the NCAA preview. And so if you're still listening to this episode, I'll break down exactly what you're going to be listening to, because I'm actually recording the final segment of that right now, or right after I finish this. So that's going to be coming up. But there are going to be, 4 different segments all about anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes long, where I'm either going to be sitting down with a guest or talking on my own about an event. So we have the sprints, distance, throws, and the jumps. And we're going to be talking about all of those who me and our special guest think is going to be the winner of each one of those events, and breaking down what you need to know. So if you're like, oh man, I got a long drive, I got work I'm doing, or we got, if you're not paying attention in school, whatever it is, you want to listen to some stuff, you want to know everything you need to know about the upcoming NCAA championship, you will know everything in there. And we're going to have chapters as well. So if you're like, man, I love this, Colin, but I'm only here for the 400, or, I like listening to this, I'm only here for the shot put, whatever it is, that's fine. We're going to put chapters in there so you can skip to wherever it is that you want to, or you can listen to it all, whatever it is that you want to do. So hopefully that you guys really enjoyed this episode, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy the next one. If you do, let us know so we can continue doing more content like that. That's going to do it for us here at Track World News. We got some exciting stuff coming along the pipeline very, very soon. I say that every episode, but it actually is going to be happening hopefully in the middle of March here. But that's going to do it for us here. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Peace.